More basketball here inside the Union Multi-Purpose Activity Center. Welcome back inside. Rick Corey along with my broadcast partner Nick Irwin. Union's girls losing tonight in a terrific basketball game to a very, very good team from Edmond North. Now it's up to the Union boys. Now, Union's girls had a nice win last night. They lose tonight. Last night, the Union boys had a tough loss to Crossings Christian. Tonight, a very good Midwest City team comes to town. Some of the things we saw yesterday from Union's boys, a lot of scoring from just two players. Need to spread that out a little.
Yeah, and even from those two players, I was seeing a bit of frustration from those two players when those buckets weren't going down, because when Crossing Christian played with their defense, they were able to limit those two players for most of that second half that we weren't able to stay in that matchup. So for tonight, I'm really hoping to find different players. Who's going to step up off the bench? Who might even is from the starting lineup? Because what I've seen from last night's game, it seemed like we got a little bit frustrated and let Crossing Christian kind of get in our mind. So with another 405 team coming in to the UMAC, I think it's going to be very important to see who's going to step up for us.
An 11-4 Midwest City team coming in here. One thing that happened last night is we mentioned the two players. It was Gunn and Chappelle who had most of the scoring. I think Flemons needs to work a little more inside tonight. That ball needs to work a little more to the post.
He's usually setting up those higher screens towards the top of the key. I would really like to see him working more closer to the underneath the basket. If he's able to make a couple post play moves on them, they'll probably be able to use that to their advantage. But I know that with his height being at least 6'8", the other team from Midwest City, the highest, tallest player is at least 6'5", so I think that's going to be really, really important to highlight for Miles Flemons tonight. He's going to be our main focus, our highlight player for tonight. He was a little bit frustrated yesterday, kind of let the Crossing Christian Knights kind of get into his mind. So for tonight, I would like to see a brand new game, new clean slate, new mentality, new mindset for tonight. And I hope that's what we're going to be able to see.
And you take a look at the scoring for this Midwest City team, and once again, there is a clear star. It is Deshaun Denson II. Averages 24.5 a game, shooting, get this, 58% from the field. This young man can play, and averaging 5.2 rebounds. Also getting 18.8 points a game from Chance Davis, who's shooting 50% from the field. And these guys are putting up a good number of shots. Past that, you're getting 9 points a game from Kenyon Brown, 7.8 points a game from Caleb Stevens and Jarvis Nash, and Mason McKenzie. Very, very good scoring. And outside those two stars, really a nice job of kind of adding in by the other players.
Yeah, and I think with tonight with Union, I don't think defense was really bad last night. I think it was more the frustration factor that crept in from the offensive side. So even though we're not making shots on the offensive side, how are we going to be able to show up on the defensive side? So with Midwest City, I think their mentality is going to definitely be work with what we got, what skill players we have, use that momentum for most of the night. And again, for Midwest City, it's going to be important to see how they open up starting this first quarter.
And, of course, Rudy Garcia, who is a very veteran coach, his 600th win not that long ago, just a couple of weeks ago. Not going to panic, neither is his basketball team, but you do have to feel like there are going to be some guys who just kind of feel like, look, we've got to do our part tonight so that everybody else can have a nice night. You know, Manning had a couple of shots last night that just didn't fall from him. But you got to have some extra guys. Tristan Driver did not have the best game. He was fine when it came to moving the basketball, and he played good defense. His, again, shots just didn't fall. Now, think back to last night's Union girls game. Everything fell. Tonight, not as much. Maybe you left it all in warm-up, so to speak, and the Union didn't on the boys' side, so hopefully they bring it back tonight.
Yeah, whenever we have a game, we always want to make sure that both teams are winning, but for tonight, with the girls dropping the first game, I hope that the boys are able to come home with a win. So I'm looking for players that typically aren't getting as much play time. Emmanuel Voltaire was someone I also saw last night getting more time, kind of pairing it up with Miles Flemons. So for tonight, it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to be able to get that starting position and who's going to be coming in off the bench.
Looks like, as a matter of fact, Voltaire will start tonight, and he had very important, I thought, defensive minutes last night. Thought he also played very well when it came to rebounding. We're very close to the starting lineups here. Remember, this is the Jinx Union Invitational Tournament. This is sponsored by Dick's House of Sport. We'll be playing these games tomorrow over at Jinx, Edmond North against Glenpool, Carthage against Glenpool. Those will be girls and boys game. And then will be a girls game, Broken Arrow against Edmond Santa Fe. Tomorrow on the boys' side, Midwest City Crossings Christian, Jinx Union. That's going to be on girls' side, and then Jinx Union on the boys' side over there as well. So we're close to those starting lineups here to get underway tonight, as it'll be the second night here at Union, and then, as I said, they'll transfer to Jinx. Let's get our lineups.
Union High School for the Jinx Union Invitational for tonight's final matchup between the Midwest City Bombers and your Union Redhawks. First, let's meet the visitors, the Midwest City Bombers. At 5'9", a junior, number 1, Ryan Holloway. At 6 foot, a junior, number 2, Caleb Stevens. At 6 foot, a senior, number 4, Mason McKenzie. At 6'3", a junior, number 5, Deshaun Dennison II. And at 6'5", a sophomore, number 32, Kenyon Brown. Head coach of the Bombers is Tori Noel, assisted by Deshaun Denson, Dwayne Bradley, and Derek Walter. And now for the starting lineup for your Union Redhawks. At 6'1", a senior, number 1, Tristan Driver. At 6 foot, a senior, number 10, Corbin Gunn. At 5'10", a senior, number 11, Justin Chappelle. At 6'2", a senior, number 21, Manny Voltaire. And at 6'8", a junior, number 22, Miles Flemons. Assistant coaches for the Redhawks are Steve Geary, Mark Ritter, and Derek Lewis. And in his 30th season as head coach of the Union Redhawks, Rudy Garcia.
So those are your starting lineups tonight, and Voltaire will take the place of Manning. And what do you think that brings Union?
I think with Voltaire's effort and intensity on the defensive side yesterday, I think that's what Coach Garcia was really wanting to show off in this first quarter. With Manning, it seemed like he was playing the part well, but I think Voltaire opened up just a little bit more of the passing lanes. And after 30 seasons here at Union, I think Coach Garcia has the veteran mindset of being able to pass that around.
I think he's got a pretty good handle on things. Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that.
More.
As I mentioned, he's won 600 games, and I don't care who you are. I don't care how long you coach. Winning 600 games, you don't do that if you don't know what's happening.
Some people play 600 games, let alone win 600 games. Very impressive. Congrats to Coach Garcia.
Well, I know for the staff here, they probably feels like there's been 600 games because they've worked their tail off to put this invitational on. Jump ball goes to Union as Driver will collect it in the backcourt, and we're underway. Being covered by Stevens. Driver. Off to the left side to Gunn. Inside to Flemons, and it's knocked out of bounds. Good quick hands there by Denson. And it'll be Redhawks basketball. That's a nice feed to the inside, exactly what we talked about.
Quick look from Flemings. Had a little bit better positioning.
Driver with the move. Now goes outside to Chappelle. He'll take the three, and it's not going to go. Rebound there to Brown. Here comes Midwest City. Holloway feeds it off to Stevens. Now left side to McKenzie. McKenzie bumped right there, and there's a foul. And that comes from Voltaire. Voltaire looked like he was kind of caught between trying to break on the ball and then hold up, and he just bumped into it.
Choosing one or the other causes the foul early for Voltaire. Don't want to get into foul trouble when you just started your first game here after this weekend.
Holloway inside with a little bit of a lob, and it goes inside to Denson, and he knocks it down for a 2-0 lead. Pressure there as Gunn gets the inbound. And that is Holloway with the pressure. Gunn drives. Can't quite get away. Driver out front. Driver middle, and there's a foul there.
A lot of hand checking there from number 2, Caleb Stevens. Seemed like he wanted to be intense. Got to make sure your hand's there, but you cannot hand check there. Referees call that foul. First one for Stevens.
And considering that we saw a lot of contact in that first game, we're seeing some pretty quick foul calls here in this second game. Just a minute off the clock. Not quite that, as a matter of fact. 2-0 Bombers. Gunn out front, Driver, and we have a charge.
Offensive foul.
They're going to call that foul. Yeah, they're going to call that foul underneath. Manning will check in immediately for Voltaire.
60 seconds in, and Robbie Manning coming off the bench for Voltaire. So Coach Garcia sees a little bit of a difference in the two, and now makes the quick substitution.
Well, that's 2 fouls on Voltaire as well. Up court quickly are the Bombers. Handled by McKenzie. He's going to take the three, and he hits it. 5-0. And that one he looked at for a moment and then just went ahead and launched it up. Chappelle. Driver out front. He's cut off as he tries to get underneath. Goes front now. Back to Driver. Driver will drive. Takes a little pull up, and it's not going to go down. Flemings was able to keep his hand on the ball, but he knocked it out of bounds. He is certainly, as Nick said, the biggest guy underneath, but he couldn't quite corral it, and the Bombers will take it.
Didn't have the positioning, but had the arm on the ball. Tried to just swipe it away. Swipes it out of bounds. Bomber ball.
Stevens quickly into Denson. Again, this young man's averaging nearly 25 a game. Driver got behind him a little, but Denson stopped. Now pulls up from three, and he hits it. Oh, my goodness, and that was an NBA three. Holy cow, it's 8-0 quickly, Midwest City.
Definitely ready for the college level, 3-level point line. Got to start looking for a position down low.
Chappelle to Gunn. Gunn drives. Little Euro step, puts it up, and it's not going to go, but he was fouled. You're going to call that foul right there on McKenzie. And this will be a shooting foul for Gunn. And right now with 5:57 to go in this first period, scoreless, Union just needs to get something on the board. First shot is right in.
I like how he took his time a little bit. I think he kind of rushed it a lot last night. When you're at the free throw line, don't have to do anything but just take your time on it. Gunn does really well. Good job on that.
Studies it again, spins the basketball. Shot number 2, in as well. So Union's on the board now, but they trail 8-2, and quickly here come the Bombers. Holloway passes off to Stevens, drives middle. Stevens up and puts in the floater, and it's 10-2. This Midwest City team's aggressive.
Making the cuts, making the drives. Got to keep that intensity up as well for Union.
Driver quickly down court. Chappelle goes inside to Flemings, but Flemings is at the elbow and can't do much with it there. Gunn flips it cross court to Manning, lays it off the glass, and it's in. Great little look right there from Gunn to make this a 10-4 game.
Flemings did a pretty good job keeping his man on his hip. Really nice layup there for Manning.
Denson being guarded by Chappelle. That's one to watch all night long. McKenzie dumps off, or McKenzie now has the basketball, goes inside. Great feed on the inside to Brown. He misses, though. Gunn quickly up court. Driver takes the three, and it's in. Big shot right there for Driver, and it's 10-7.
I think that's a confidence booster early for this game. Driver having a tough week so far. Nice three-pointer there by him.
Union trails. Coming down court, the shot by Stevens was blocked by Driver. And Denson will have it out front. Here he goes. Moves inside, goes back outside. The three, was it a three? It was good by McKenzie, and it's 13-7, Midwest City. There is no shortage of running up and down in this game. Driver tries to go, ball knocked away by Stevens. He's got it, down court. Driver puts it up and in, Denson up and in with the layup. 15-7 Midwest City, and here comes Union. Gunn, a little out of control, but on a pull-up, not able to knock it down, but he was fouled. I think Gunn's a little lucky right there, Nick. That got a little faster than Rudy Garcia would like.
He was able to split the two defenders on that from pushing the pace. Two Bombers kind of bounced into each other, so Gunn had a lot of space, wasn't expecting as much. Looked for a little quick pull-up. Now he's going back to the free throw line. Take your time, Gunn. Got all the time in the world.
15-7, Midwest City as Gunn steps forward. 2 bounces, a spin, 1 bounce, and here he goes. Once again, not a problem with that one.
Gunn always goes for the high five on the low block, even if no one's there. Back-to-back nights that he's done it.
It's habit, right?
As number 3, Jarvis Nash for the Bombers checks in. He checked in for Caleb Stevens, who's on his back now. Might have a cramp on the sideline right now.
And now that's 4 for Gunn as he hits that second free throw. And Trey Smith will come in for Union. He will take the place of Manning. Ryan Holloway coming down court now for Midwest City. 4 minutes to go here in this first quarter. 15-8 Bombers. Passes off to Nash. Nash to Denson. Denson way outside. Can't get the three to go, but inside rebound by McKenzie. McKenzie gives it back outside to Brown, and he knocks it down. Tremendous little pass right in the paint, and it's 17-9.
McKenzie had the vision to look for the big guy, Brown, down low. Can't miss him at 6'5". Nice put up.
Gunn trying to get free. Now he goes middle. He'll pull up, little roller with his right hand. What a shot! It goes down somehow for Gunn, and I don't know how he got that one even up, Nick.
He palmed that ball pretty well to go on the opposite side. Now turnover here for Chappelle.
Holloway had it knocked away by Chappelle, and here he comes. Chappelle to Gunn. Open three. Up. And it's good. Big shot right there by Gunn, and it's 17-11. Or 14, pardon me. And Gunn now with 9. Denson wants a little of that back, and he's dribbling out front. Here he goes. Cut off. Now way out front to Brown. Brown goes middle and is given off to Nash. He drives and has an easy layup, and it's 19-14. Pace may be a little too much for Union defensively. Driver gets inside, but he goes under. Goes out to Chappelle. He's got a 3. Can't get it. Flemons cannot gather the rebound. Brown gets it away.
Foul here for Driver, I believe.
Yeah, Driver
transition.
Fouled. Yeah, Driver fouled Holloway. As Holloway started up court, Driver thought he had a pretty good slap at the ball, but gets a little too much contact.
It's tough because in that situation, Flemons is the only one down low for an opportunity of a rebound. All our guards are beyond already back on defense, so I think we're going to want a little bit more players down low to fight for that rebound.
And Flemons does have a height advantage there, but Brown got up over him. Denson dribbling around out front. Remember, this one averages 24.5. Takes the shot and knocks it down. You can see why. That was a 2, but just inside that line. And it's now 21-14, Midwest City.
Need some help here from Gunn.
Gunn gets it forward. That goes to Smith. Smith driving. Gets it out to Driver. Driver wide open. 3. No. Right back, though, it goes, and it's knocked up and in by Trey Smith. Nice little putback by Smith. No hesitation. And it's a 6-point game. Nash taking his time, bringing it up. He'll keep it instead of passing it to Stevens. Nash drives under, but Flemons cuts him off. Now quickly back out front to Stevens. Stevens drives inside, feeds off to Brown, misses the bunny. Ball blocked. Flemons gets it back, knocked away again by Midwest City. Turnaround, no good. Brought down again by the Bombers, and a foul. Kenyon Brown kept battling for that basketball, and that's a 3 offensive rebound possession for the Bombers.
It's tough there because Flemons is fighting for it, trying to at least get a defensive rebound. He's the only one fighting for it. Needs some help there. Causes the foul. Going to be underneath here, I believe.
Brown thought he was going to shoot, but he won't. 5-point game with 1:39 to go in a fast-paced first period. Denson's taking it out of bounds. Watch the inbounds here because this is the kind of play where he gets it inbounds and just soars right back to the goal.
Might be a little give and go here.
They're trying to get Brown out of the game. They finally do. Head coach Torrey Norrell was yelling, no, you, pointing, and Brown turns around and comes out. Denson, ball knocked away out front. Nice job by Chappelle. It's gathered, though, by McKenzie. Now out front to Denson. He goes right side. McKenzie, open 3, won't go. Another rebound inside, another putback, this time blocked, but there was a foul called, and Caleb Stevens was really the only Bomber inside and still somehow collected that ball.
Yeah, Flemons had to go outside to the wing to at least contest the 3-point shot. That means our tall guy is out beyond the arc, unable to get the rebound. Foul there on number 14, Robbie Manning.
Stevens puts the first one up and in with no trouble. He's got one more. Second shot, good as well. So Stevens knocks down 2 more, and it's a 24-16 game. A little pressure now coming from Midwest City. Driver gets it back to Gunn, so it's across midcourt. The Bombers will settle back into their man-to-man. Gunn out front, good movement underneath. Driver with it. Looks to go back to the right side to Manning, and he does, but nothing there for Manning. Driver Goes inside, pulls back, and knocks it off the board. Can't get it. Flemings has it down, goes right back up, and he gets it in. Nice play by Miles Flemings to stay with it and make it a 5-point game.
Gonna need to see a lot more of that. Well done there from Miles Flemings, the junior.
Denson quickly to Stevens. Stevens quickly over to Nash. Nash can't hit it. Ball bounces around out of bounds, and it will go to the Red Hawks.
Just off Mason McKenzie. Couldn't get a handle on it. One of those opportunities. Midwest City Bombers letting it fly from 3 tonight, and they're going to be opening up with a little bit full court press.
36 seconds to go in this first period. A bucket here for Union to get it within 3 would be big. Driver, back over to Chappelle. Need to get it across the half-court line. They do. Now back to Driver. He's got a wide-open 3. It's a long one, and it doesn't go. Rebound, though, by Gunn, and he gets it up and in. Tremendous rebound by Gunn. It's a 3-point game.
Fell right into Gunn's lap. Went straight up with it. Well done by Corbin Gunn.
This ought to be entertaining because we know that Denson wants this last shot. Goes off to Brown. Brown's going to take it, and that's way off the mark, but I think that ball was tapped by a Union player. An opportunity for Union, 3 seconds to go. Gunn's going to have to hurry. Gets across half court, launches, and it will come just underneath the basket. Well, you can't say it's not entertaining, can you?
Interesting shot there from Kenyon Brown. Had 10 seconds left on the clock for the Midwest City Bombers, but something to highlight there. Good finish there from the Union Red Hawks. Unable to start pretty hot, but we started to see a little bit more. Miles Flemings down low. Gunn able to work some offensive rebounds. Now it's cut down to a 3-point lead. I know Coach Garcia, Coach Ritter making sure that they're making the adjustments, because if we're able to work it more into the post with Flemings with that height advantage, I think that's where we're going to see a lot more success.
So 11 for Gunn in that first period alone. Nobody else has a lot of points. Driver has the 1-3. There's 2 for Manning there, 2 for Flemings. That was his first 2, and considering his height, there's going to have to be a little bit more of that. But I agree with the Brown thing. I mean, I really thought they were going to just go right back to Denson and let him create. After all, he averages 25 a game. Instead, Brown got a little carried away. Someone from Union got a hand on the ball and helped make that kind of an errant shot, and then Gunn, I don't know if he didn't lose, if he lost track for a second there or not, but then looked up, realized his time, and had to launch it.
Yeah, I think his thought process was, I have to put up a shot before the time goes out, but he had plenty of time. And then even in that situation with Gunn, seemed like Gunn was taking his time going down the court, had to push it, had to do a 360 spin and shot air ball. But this second quarter, Gunn already on the leaderboard with 11 points for the Red Hawks. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more from, oh boy, Miles Flemings.
9 for Denson in that first period. Midwest City up by 3 as we begin the second period. Out front is Stevens. Goes off to Nash.
Little zone here for Union after
Union
the start of the second quarter.
Confuse them a little bit right there. Now it's an extended zone. Driver is coming way out front. Almost a box on one right there as well. Denson has it out front, goes back quickly. That is Nash, and he rims out the 3, and Flemings has the rebound, but he's knocked down by Brown, and they'll call the foul.
Foul on Brown. Got his foot kind of tangled up with Flemings, and when you're 6'8" for Flemings, you get tripped up just a little bit. We know that you're going down. So foul on number 32, Kenyon Brown, the sophomore.
And that's his second. That's going to be a big one because Brown's the only big body they have. Gunn will get it across the half-court line eventually. Now he does. Guarded closely by Jarvis.
Flemings looking for position down low.
Driver out front, back to Gunn. Now to Flemings, but way outside. Chappelle looked like he wanted to take that 3. Goes inside to Manning. Brilliant pass, but there's a foul on the inside as Manning went up. That foul is going to go on Caleb Stevens. Boy, what a pass right there on the inside. And now Manning will go to the line.
Stevens was pleading his case, keeping his arms up, making sure that I was staying vertical the entire time. I think he instigated a little bit of contact down low right before that.
Manning knocks down that first one, and now it's a 2-point game. Good resilience here by Union with that early run by Midwest City.
And that's the thing with the Bombers, since their shots haven't really been going down, a little bit more defensive side, really good mentality here for the Red Hawks.
Shot 2 for Gunn, good as well. We're looking at a 1-point game, 23-22.
Like how Robbie Manning didn't get the start, but still showing up off the bench.
Holloway up court quickly for Midwest City. They're going to find Denson if they can. Denson and Chappelle, what a matchup all night long. Screened by Nash, but he's going to pass it off anyway back to Holloway. Back to Nash. He's in the middle and he's being double teamed. Nash no place to go. It didn't look like. Instead, he found Brown underneath with a brilliant dish, and it's 25-22.
We've been seeing that a lot. Flemings has to pick up the low block.
Surprised Nash didn't get called for a bit of a foul right there. Driver off to Manning, back to Gunn. Quick ball movement for Union. Gunn almost ran into Manning right there. Gunn trying to create, bounces it off of one of the Bombers, and now back to Driver. Driver goes deep to Flemons. Turns right shoulder, left shoulder,
Loves
and puts
it.
that ball
Love
up
it.
and in, and that's what you want to see from big number 22, and it's 25-24.
Possible.
The officials were talking about something, Nick, but I couldn't quite see what.
Believe it might have been a flop, and that's what they were calling it on. So they called a foul for that against the Bombers.
Denson has it out front. Driver closely guarding him. Nash goes inside, puts up a little short one, and it goes in. Good defense by Chappelle, but he went over the top, and that extends the lead to 3.
Having to arc that ball over the 6'8" Flemings. Very impressive shot there.
5:40 to go here in this second period. 3-point game, Midwest City up. Manning has it knocked away by Nash. Nash on the run, goes inside, gives it to ball up and off right there by Denson. And another rebound coming down for Flemons. Driver. Looked like he had room. Denson cut him off. Chappelle can't get the drive underway and goes back to Driver. They'd like to go back right here to Miles, but he's being covered. Driver pulls up and no. Rebound by Flemons, puts it back up and in, and that's again what you want to see from the big guy.
And Flemings is on that low block. When any time a shot's up, that's at least half the court that he's able to cover. It's just really tough sometimes because we're usually wanting him to screen up top. So well done for Flemings. Good
6
positioning.
points now for Flemons. 1-point game with 4 minutes, 50 seconds to go in this first half. Holloway off quickly. That ball is almost not touching the net. McKenzie knocked it down like it was yesterday's news. 4-point lead now.
It's tough because when we're playing in a zone, it kind of invites the offense to shoot more threes. Bombers definitely letting it fly.
A lot of contact there by McKenzie, nothing called. Manning goes back to Gunn. Gets the
High
screen from Flemons.
Has the height
Now
advantage.
goes inside. Flemons is there by himself, and he gets the pump fake up, and he got number 3, Jarvis Nash, up in the air. Quite honestly, Flemons should have gone straight up with that. He had the foul and the 2.
You got the pump fake, got him off his feet. Got to just go up with a shot because now it's just a simple foul. It's going to be a play underneath.
Third foul, though, on Midwest City, and that's 4:15 to go in this second period, so you get a couple more and you're going to shoot them. Gunn gets the screen from Nash, or
Got the
pardon me, from
switch.
Flemons. Flemons switches underneath. Out front to McIntyre. Now he goes back to Driver. Driver drives inside, puts up the little shot, no good. Flemons bounces it around, and here comes Midwest City, and they've got numbers. Nash puts up the little
Blocking
one-hander and a blocking foul inside, and I think that's going to go in Chappelle.
Chappelle tried to slide in there right at the last second to try to get a charge, but I think his feet were still moving. Going to be a blocking foul there for Chappelle.
Good offensive opportunities, though, on the other end, and you really like what you're seeing right now from big number 22, Flemons. Nash steps to the line. And that first one is off, and these two teams have shot free throws very well thus far.
The one-arm Coach Garcia grabbing that ball. But
Nash himself a 50% shooter from the floor.
Midwest City Coach Noel had his 4 players huddled up in that first free throw, kind of reinsuring the game plan.
Second shot's good, making it a 5-point game with 3:52 to go in this first half. Gunn whispers something to McIntyre as he ran by. Let's see what this leads to. Flemons high along with McIntyre as they stand right on the elbows both sides. Gunn now looking to coach and asking, hey, what do we want to do here? Driver now goes and takes the basketball. Goes to Chappelle, back to Driver. Gunn is posted up. He gets it to him down low. Gunn turns to that left shoulder. He has got a lot of folks around him, but he puts it up and he's fouled. Now, who do they call? If this is, it is not. I'm looking for a moment there like it was going to be Brown. Instead, it was Nash on the foul call. If that's Brown, that would have been really, really difficult for Midwest City. Instead, it was Nash, but Gunn will go to the line.
See that intensity, that fire that Gunn was able to have right there. Even though he might not have had the height, I would really like to see Flemings with that same intensity down low. Gunn knew exactly where he was going with it.
Gunn's first free throw knocks the bottom out of it.
That might just be the senior mindset for Gunn.
That's a scorer's mindset is what that is.
Mindset.
That's a guy, that's somebody who can shoot and shoot and shoot and miss and keep shooting, right?
Yeah.
Now, not that he's doing that, but that's just that scorer's mindset.
I think that's what Coach Garcia really is looking for all of his players, to have that confidence.
Shot 2 falls, and it's now a 3-point game. The scoreboard put that on the wrong side. We'll get that corrected. There we go. It's 31-28 Midwest City.
As Jackson Boyd, the junior, checks in.
Denson hasn't touched it in a while, and he's going to bring it up, and you know he wants a shot. He's going to work for it, middle of the floor. Has to pull the dribble up, though. Goes to Nash. Nash from way outside, off the rim, and Flemings with the rebound.
Good board there from Flemings.
Quickly, down court. Here comes Driver. Inside is blocked. Tremendous block by McKenzie, and it blocked directly to Holloway. Holloway back to McKenzie. Inside to Holloway. Back out front. Dixon from 3. No good. Knocked inside by Gunn. What a terrific save by Gunn to Flemings. Now back to Gunn, and here comes Gunn. To Chappelle from 3. Oh, off the back of the rim. And here comes the Bombers. Denson. He's going to take this to the hole, but it's blocked by Flemings. What a tremendous block by big number 22.
Denson wanted to take on Flemings, number 22, 6'8" height against, with, in that case, Denson, the 6'3". Definitely a big height advantage as Chappelle had an opportunity there to steal it, but foot went out of bounds.
He did. He looked like he got a hold of it and tossed it back into the backcourt, but as Nick said, his foot was just out of bounds. But what a play there by Flemings. Then the official just throws it off Driver's foot. So we're all chasing the orange thing right now. All right, we've corralled it. Holloway will take it out under the basket. Goes inside. Nice little inside move right there, and a knockdown by McKenzie. That'll extend the lead to 5. Gunn with 13 points and the basketball. Flemings is going to come out to offer the screen. Gunn takes it, beats the double team, but got a little help from the inside by Brandon Dixon. Now inside to Flemings, turns around, puts it up, misses, and the ball comes off to McKenzie. McKenzie gets it out. Holloway, here he comes. And it's stolen. Tremendous play by Chappelle. Numbers, Driver, left hand, good.
Transition offense, well done there from Chappelle up to Driver. Got to get back on defense here.
Denson looked like he was going to drive that thing to the left and go to the hole, but he was fouled by Driver ahead of time.
It's a good bucket from Driver, but getting back on defense causes the foul.
It's a tremendous bucket because these guys have done a really good job of flying in from behind and blocking shots, and he just went sole focused to the basketball.
Midwest City does a really good job. Once that bucket happens for Union, they get that ball really fast. So even if you're not on defense, they're already ready to get a bucket on the other side of the court.
Fast moving second period. We only have a minute 44 to go and a 33-30 lead. McKenzie back to Denson. Oh, he wants that shot. Brown goes inside, and it's stolen away, knocked away. Gunn's got it. Breakaway. Gunn to the basket, rolls it in, and we have a 1-point game and a timeout called by Tori Noel.
15 points for Corbin Gunn, the senior captain for the Union Redhawks. Kind of gave a little flex on that last bucket there. Has to kind of show off it right now because got to bring that swagger back for the entire team. I know Coach Garcia looks to him to find and build up those teammates, but right now I feel like he's our star player so far with a 15 out of the 32.
I tell you what I like the most in the last couple of minutes is the lack of panic. They're playing good defense as Union, but they're finishing those shots. Those layups are not easy when you're being pursued by guys you know can jump out of the gym. Instead, the focus by Driver and by Gunn was such to make sure those balls went down. You get those plays, you miss those shots, it doesn't mean a thing.
It's a different game if those shots aren't falling. I think Gunn started his 2 steps for his layup probably at the free throw line. He made those big strides and then a nice little layup. But right now, even with this game being a 1-point game, it feels like Union has had the lead for most of the game, but it hasn't been that way. I like how we're not getting any panic on the defensive side or the offensive side. I know with the Midwest City Bombers, Deshaun Denson II, he hasn't really had a bucket in a little bit, so I know he really wants to pick up where he left off. The aforementioned Denson is now going to dribble it down the court.
Well, that's the thing. You know Denson wants to score again. He's a guy who averages an awful lot, but he passes off to Brown. Brown out front to McKenzie. McKenzie, guarded by Gunn, goes back to Denson. Now Gunn, Denson. This should be one heck of a matchup right here. Denson, 35 or so feet away, goes back to Brown, and Brown walked. Oh, that's a big turnover for Midwest City. With 1:03 to go in this half, Union could take the lead here, trailing by only 1.
Brown with that last 3-pointer in the first quarter, and now with a critical turnover here on the travel call, we're going to be able to possibly take the lead here for the Redhawks. Make sure we use this possession wisely.
Chappelle, who is scoreless in this first half, yet it's a 1-point game, inbounds to Gunn. To Driver, has some room. Driver drives inside, little floater, and it's good, and Union takes the lead. Driver with 4 of the last 6, and the Redhawks up by 1. Quickly down court, Holloway. 43 seconds to go. Brown. McKenzie from 3, no good. Rebound, Flemings, but it drops off. And is taken by McIntyre, or pardon me, that's not McIntyre, that's Boyd. Goes to Gunn. Gunn harassed, but he beats it, and he's fouled out front by Dixon.
Yeah, Gunn had a step on Dixon, Brandon Dixon, the senior. It's going to be 5 fouls for Midwest City, so it's going to be 2 free throws here for Union with Gunn at the line.
And you know Tori Noel is not happy about that because, again, you're fouling 40 feet away almost, and that's not what you want right here.
Now they get to go to the free throw line for our top scorer and our top free thrower, so it's going to be important to capitalize on these points to extend that lead.
Gunn trying to add to his 15. First shot. Oh, just rolls off. Gunn staring at the rim as though, why did you do that to me?
You haven't done this all night. Why would you start now?
And he's still staring at that rim like he can't believe it.
He might take an extra second now.
Corbin Gunn steps back to the line. Number 2 rolls off as well. Uncharacteristic. 2 misses. So here comes Deshaun Denson. He hasn't shot the basketball in about 6 minutes. Wants a little movement underneath with 18 seconds to go. Brown out front. Can't quite decide where to go to it. Trying to get it to Denson and almost had it knocked away. It's Denson and Gunn. This should be good.
Clear out here.
Denson goes inside. Brown had an easy layup, but he dropped it and missed it. Inside, it's taken by Boyd, and he can't quite get his shot off. Boy, that is really fortunate for Union. Brown had a nice shot on the inside, and he could not hang on.
Great job defensively from Jackson Boyd, the junior. He was able to contest the shot just enough and then get the rebound. Well done there from Boyd.
So at the half, it is 34-33, Union over Midwest City in a fast-moving and fast-paced first half. We'll be back with the second half moments from now on the Union Sports Network.
Dad, don't forget about my new cleats.
Sweetie, I can't make it to Dick's this week.
Have you heard of Dix.com?
Have I heard of Dix.com? Have I heard of Dix.com? Whoa.
Don't overthink it. Let's go shopping.
Actually, what I need are some cleats.
How about one of these?
Great.
Done. Anything else?
No,
Golf club?
Not
Yep.
for me.
Yeah,
For a friend.
of course,
I'm
of
just
course.
anyone impressed with how fast that was?
Yeah,
I know. I went to
my
Dix.com.
cleats. Thank you. I love you.
Well, I went to Dix.com. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, I told you about that.
Does your school or organization need athletic apparel or spirit wear? Let me suggest Inkwell, a Tulsa-based company that can get you the quality you deserve at unheard of and unmatched lead times. Talking 2 weeks or less, not 2 months like most others, and can do it as much as 60% less than most of the big guys out there. So join the likes of Sand Springs, Union, Broken Arrow, Jinx, Oolaga, and Glenpool, to name a few, and get your customized sublimated uniforms, including Under Armour, Nike, or Adidas at InkwellNation.com.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
When summer heats up and your AC isn't working right, be cautious of being pressured into a replacement.
It's always a good idea to get a second opinion, and Airco will let you know if your AC is worth fixing.
So call Airco today for a free second opinion.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Shields is now open at the Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, and we can't thank you enough for the warm welcome. Whether you love the great outdoors, sports, or fashion, Shields has something for everyone. Our passionate and knowledgeable Shields experts are excited to welcome you to explore thousands of brands and premium products. From our golf simulator, service shop, archery lanes, and more, we're ready to get you fitted with the best gear for you. We can't wait to see you at Shields.
Select Commercial Group, a part of Coldwell Banker Select, is a highly reputable and professional firm specializing in commercial real estate services. A premier sponsor of the Union Red Hawks.
Hey Union fans, score big with TTCU Federal Credit Union School Pride Card. Each time you use your card, we donate to Union Public Schools, adding to the $2.5 million we've given statewide. TTCU, where members are raving fans.
Welcome back inside the UMAC Union Multipurpose Activity Center. I'm Rick Corey, along with my broadcast partner, Nick Garwood. We're at the half of one whale of an entertaining basketball game as Union leads now 34-33 over Midwest City. And, Nick, I got to tell you, I don't know that I expected that about halfway through the first period.
From that first quarter, it seemed really, really in favor of the Bombers. The Bombers were letting the three ball fly. And I know with Deshaun Denson II, he was letting everything fly and everything was dropping. We're kind of starting to put our heads down, kind of little bit of disappointment from the start. And to be leading by one so far, that was definitely something that we were able to say as, are we seriously leading at the half?
Okay, here's the question. How?
I think most of that obviously has to be going through our senior, Corbin Gunn, who has been our star point guard for most of the entire season. We've been getting a little bit of success from Driver here and there with a couple of really good buckets. And as always, Miles Flemons, he's been able to truly find his post moves down low. I know those passes are typically higher than usual from the last couple games. Tonight, we've been able to hit him in stride, and he's been getting some offensive rebounds, which has been really key with some putback shots. So for the second half, I'd really like to see a little bit more from Flemings. And as always, Corbin Gunn has been doing a really, really good job. I think the Bombers might try to limit him. So if Gunn is looking for those passes, I think that might be a really successful
Also,
thing.
if you take a look on the other side, Denson averages 24.5, almost 25 for Midwest City, 9 at the half. Other guys are making up some of those points, but I think Union's done a good job on him.
Yeah, I know with most of these players, Mason McKenzie, also with 11, it's going to be important to see how much are we, as the Red Hawks, are going to try to limit him because we don't want them scoring 25 to 30 points tonight, especially in a close game.
And then you take a look at Chappelle for Union, who's one of the star players. He has 0 at the half, yet Union leads. So at the half, if you're Coach Garcia, what is your message?
I think from what we have seen so far in that second quarter, as we were kind of surprised with the 1-point lead, I think we're going to have to set the same game plan, work through Flemings, push the tempo, because I think a lot of the times the Bombers get a little bit lazy on the transition defense, and we're able to push the ball and push the envelope.
It was a really big series there. Driver with the layup, Gunn with the layup that made some big plays there. McKenzie did have 11 in the first half for Midwest City. Deshaun Denson had 9, 4 for Stevens and 4 for Kenyon Brown. And it looked for a moment there like Brown might have a role here. Really good job, I thought, by Flemons later to kind of close him down a little bit. Meanwhile, Corbin Gunn, 15 for Union, 6 for Miles Flemons, and 7 for Tristan Driver, who had a big first half as well. So let's see how we do in the second half. 34-33, Union with the lead, and all I expect is fast-paced, because that's
fireworks.
what it was. That second period, I think, went by in about 45 seconds.
And I think Coach Garcia would like that. I think he wants us to be, pushing the tempo. If we're pushing the tempo, that's kind of meeting where Midwest City is. So I think Coach Garcia talking with Gunn right now, talking with Driver right now, Coach Geary as well, making sure that these players know our game plan is still the same. We've been able to at least win the second quarter so much that we're able to be 1 point. If we can win these next 2 quarters, have that game plan and that same mindset, we'll be able to focus up to hopefully come out with a dub on this Friday night.
Something else I liked an awful lot, we mentioned Chappelle. He is scoreless, but what you did not see is him pressing. He didn't take unneeded shots. He didn't take any shots that weren't the right shots at all, as a matter of fact. He had very few opportunities, but he didn't press.
Yeah, and for Midwest City, I'd like to highlight Caleb Stevens. He's been doing a really good job focusing on the defensive side with Corbin Gunn. I know Gunn has 15 so far, so that's 15 points on Stevens, but I think it's going to be important to see what that matchup might be as well with Mason McKenzie and Deshaun Denson. I feel like with Gunn, it's kind of like back and forth. Fireworks from both sides.
Union will take the basketball. Chappelle will inbounds, and Gunn is waiting back to try to grab that inbounds. He's being covered by Holloway as we get ready to get underway here. This is the Jinx Union Invitational, presented by Dick's House of Sport. Tomorrow, the last day of this tournament, will all be over at Jinx at the Frank Harold Fieldhouse. All right, back underway, and here comes Gunn. Holloway on him, goes to Driver. Manning back to Driver. Driver gets the screen from Flemons. Flemons rolls, but nothing there.
Got the switch they want down low with Flemons now.
Back out front to Gunn. He's being covered by Denson. Certainly no rush here. Trying to set up what they want. Flemons trying to get open underneath, but they're a little back door. Nice little floater inside. Miles Flemons up and in. Tremendous pass by Gunn. Flemons finishes it out, and Union up 36-33.
Really good play from Justin Chappelle. Brought his man out That's when Flemings, the double man, was on down low. Flemings was now one-on-one, got the easy layup there. Love it.
Back on offense goes Midwest City. McKenzie got bumped a little by Manning. No call there. They're going to go inside to Brown. Swipe at the ball by Gunn, and they'll take it all the way back out front to Stevens. Guarded by Chappelle. Flemings closes out. Nice job there. Brown from way outside bounces it off the rim, and Chappelle with a big rebound to Gunn.
I think Coach Garcia wants that shot from Brown.
Quickly down to Driver. Driver inside, goes inside to Manning. Manning puts it up. Oh, he missed it from about 1.5 feet. Bombers with a rebound. That was a tremendous offensive series except for the finish. Denson hasn't shot in a while, and now he has. That one's off the back of the rim. Chappelle with another big rebound.
Defensive rebounds, loving the start for the boys.
Chappelle in a hurry, drives, puts it up. Nothing there. Flemings with a rebound. Ball knocked out of bounds.
Referee letting them play. Going to be underneath the basket. Seemed like a lot of contact down low from both sides. Referees let them play, like the consistency on it right there in front of our student section. Having a nice little night on this Friday night. Shout out for our boys and girls of the high school.
And as long as they're letting them play on both sides, that looked like rugby for a moment, and that's all right if that's what you're doing. Gunn, nice move inside. Whips it to the right to Manning, and he drops it. Chappelle back to Manning. Goes right to Driver. Driver drives inside. Nice little shot. Pulls up off the glass, and it's good.
With a kiss from Driver. Well done off the bank. Bank is open.
5-point lead for the Red Hawks, and the Bombers with a little bit of a drought. Denson passes to Holloway. Back to McKenzie. McKenzie with the basketball. Back to Denson. He throws up the three, and it's no good. Flemings mistimed the jump and then almost got pulled out of there, but he comes down with it to Driver, wide open on the break. Little stutter step, misses off the glass, and Denson with the rebound. Quickly back to Stevens. Takes the three. No good. Brown with the rebound. Little turnaround, and he knocks it down. Give Brown credit right there. He stuck with that. And an official timeout. I think Flemings
might have some blood from Flemings. Referee calls a personal timeout. He got popped in the face.
He did.
2 possessions ago on the defensive side. Might have to clean him up a little bit.
It almost looked like somebody grabbed his hair the way his head jerked around. I think it was just an arm.
I was worried it was worse than it really was, but he got the rebound and was able to get it. So he's going to go and get some tape on it because I think there was some blood on the ground, and that's what caught the attention of the referee. I think it's now on the court. So now both teams are looking for any blood from Flemings.
The officials are out there looking, and they're going to try as quickly as they can to patch Flemings up because he has been big, just even tapping balls around underneath tonight.
Yeah, and I think there's some blood on the ground, so they want to make sure that it is, or on the court at least, so they want to make sure that they do everything in their power to make sure that it's cleaned up properly and sanitized. Assistant Athletic Director Mr. Redmond's out there.
We saw AD Emily Barkley a little bit earlier. She was behind us in between games and had a plate of cookies, and she said basically that was not for her. That was Sutton's request, her daughter, so she was over here specifically getting M&M cookies for Sutton.
I'll always believe it when I see it on that one, like I'm getting cookies for you or my dad, and then I walk away and it's 3 cookies down the drain.
No, not for me. We're good over here, but Sutton got her cookies, I can promise you that.
As Flemings gets taped up. I don't know if it was in the nose or in the face, but I think it's possibly on his cheek. That's where the blood is going to be. That's a typical not. It's typically not something that usually gets cut up, usually in the nose area, but if it's on his face, it might be a little bit more blood. So
they were waiting just to get gloves on someone to come out and wipe up the court.
So that's why we're in a delay right now. Got to spray on the court because I think we've had some blood in multiple locations that's been dripping because it was multiple possessions. So they want to make sure that both, if not 2 or more drops of blood, is both cleaned up and sanitized. Don't want to have someone touching all this blood with no gloves.
They're tracing those droplets back. Both coaches, of course, taking this as an opportunity to go over as much as they can while they can.
I know that with this kind of pause in the action, Flemings did play with the mark, so it wasn't something that affected him. But yeah, we both saw his head kind of jerk back a little bit, into which it looked a little bit more serious than it actually was. So I know Flemings has a lot of strength and determination tonight. Want to make sure he shows up for his team. So I think this might be a good time. Might get a bandage wrapped up on his face. Want to make sure it's all well. Hopefully there's nothing structurally wrong.
Gunn took the opportunity to go over and talk to that student section. He was over high-fiving and joking with those folks. As a matter of fact, when I had my preseason meeting with Coach Rudy Garcia, he said, he said, Gunn's a great kid, a great player, and he said he can be a little bit of a goofball, and he meant that in a good way. He meant he's kind of a fun young man. He's got a great personality, a big personality, and you certainly see that on the court as well.
It's something that everybody can like. There's nothing from him. He'll show up when he needs to. He'll pick up his teammates when he needs to, and he has a little bit of swagger with him. I always like enjoying watching Corbin Gunn when he plays basketball. Has a lot of confidence, as we always say, confidence but not cocky. And so with Corbin Gunn, it's always just a pleasure to enjoy watching him play.
Now watch number 21, Voltaire. Emmanuel Voltaire checks in place of Flemings, and he's going to have to play big minutes here against Brown.
Yeah, so as Flemings is still getting patched up on the bench, Voltaire is going to get some more time.
38-35 Union, 5:20 to go here in this third period, and a kind of a ticky-tack little foul by Stevens, and I don't mean the call. I mean Stevens being that far away from the basket to body Driver that much, and he gets the foul call.
Yeah, he's keeping Driver in front of him, but a little bit of a hand check each time. Referee wants to call that for a foul there, and that's going to be number 3 for Caleb Stevens.
And that could be big as well. He's been good facilitating tonight. Driver's been good as well. Nice little roll by Driver. Misses the layup, though. And the rebound to Stevens, and they're going to throw it up court. It's going to go off Gunn, who made a break for the basketball, and it'll still remain with Midwest City.
Sub here for the Bombers, number 13, Anthony Dixon, the junior, checks in for Caleb Stevens. The aforementioned Stevens, who has 3 fouls.
Not a surprise that they'd sit him for a little bit. Nash will have it in the backcourt initially, and then take it off to Denson. Brown wide open on the right side from 3, and he hits it. The big man makes it a tie game.
Yeah, that's not something we're expecting. He's missed all of his 3s so far tonight, but Kenyon Brown steps up in this third quarter.
Driver is trapped, but he gets it off inside. That goes to Chappelle. Chappelle is fouled as he goes up. I believe that one's going to go, and it does, on McKenzie.
Coach Noel not too happy with that. Seemed like he went straight up the entire time. Referee giving him a little explanation to explain the call. I think he instigated the contact a little bit early, and then he went up. So having a quick conversation, Chappelle's able to knock down the first one.
The official is holding his ground over there as well. Union retakes the lead by 1. First point of the night for Chappelle. Number 2 comes off the rim, and it will be a foul, actually, as it was taken in quickly by the man who came in, Anthony Dixon, and a very quick foul call. And that goes against Voltaire.
His third.
And I was going to say, now you've got Voltaire with a third foul, and he's out there for Flemings. That's a big, big foul.
Who might step up off the bench in favor of Voltaire.
Dixon gets it down low to Brown. McKenzie out front to Denson. Nash, who's been very good, goes back inside to Brown, and he lays it in, and he's fouled.
Chappelle looked like he was going to be able to get a hand on that. Called a foul on it, gets the bucket and 1. Going to try to complete a 3-point play. Gunn brought his team together right there in the paint to try to reaffirm them, to let them know what the game plan is.
And that was Voltaire who got his 4th foul on that. So Brown will step to the line. Midwest City now up by 1. Manning set to check in. The free throw is good, and the Bombers now lead by 2.
Now, number 14, Robbie Manning, checks in for Voltaire. Even more height that we have to decrease now by, with Fleming still getting work on the bench. That cut must have been pretty deep there.
Gunn quickly up court. Gets it off quickly. Manning out front. Goes back to Driver. Driver's got Gunn wide open in the corner. A little late with that pass, or he had an open 3. Calls for the screen from Manning. Backs away. Gunn is fouled as he spun between 2 players.
Tough there by Robbie Manning. Brought his man over to Gunn. He was trying to call for a screen as Gunn right now talking with Manning saying, hey, I needed a screen there, but don't bring your man too late. So we're going to have a timeout here from Coach Garcia. Fleming still getting some patchwork, possibly on his leg as well, but now it was his face that we were highlighting.
Well, he might have just dropped some. I mean, his leg, he might have had drips and splashes on his leg. Jarvis Nash, by the way, got that foul, and that's his third. So there is some foul concern with 4 minutes to go in this third period now for Midwest City.
Now it looks like Fleming's going to be able to check in or at least get back into the conversation on it. So we'll see what Coach Garcia says, if he's all good to check now back in.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the officials have to say, too, because generally they'll have to check that ahead of time. They are serious about making sure there's no bleeding.
That was something that we are seriously focused on right now because Fleming's had Voltaire check in for him. Voltaire then got into foul trouble, and then Robbie Manning had to check in. So that's going from 6'8 to 6'2 to 6'2, and it looks like Fleming's once again just checked in, so he'll be able to get back in on this. I believe he'll probably sub in for Robbie Manning.
Looks like that will likely be the case. We'll see. So it will be Driver, Gunn, Flemings, Chappelle, and the fifth will be Manning.
Checked in for Boyd. That's what the change was.
Yep.
Jackson Boyd was checking out.
Gunn will inbound under the basket, left side. 4:01 to go in this third period, 41-39 Midwest City here at the Jinx Union Invitational
So I
Tournament.
think Flemings might have some more blood on his shirt, and that's what the referees do not like. So that he's running to the locker room, possibly getting another
second jersey. Yeah, so they'll bring Jackson McIntyre back out. And if your coach, Rudy Garcia, is, hey, guys, can you not tell us that ahead of time? We want to get this guy back in the game. You don't have to hurry.
Out there, yeah.
They finally get it into Manning. Manning back out to Driver, and they'll reset the offense. Driver. Inside double team. He's going to have to hurry to get out of that. Goes back to Manning. Ball's tipped. Manning has it back. Driver underneath. Little pull up, and he hits it. Big night for Driver as he ties the game.
Good little midi from Driver. Confidence booster. He really likes that mid-range, especially for a point guard.
That's 11 points now for Driver. Dixon goes middle of the floor. Nash kind of trapped. Back to Dixon. Underneath to Brown. He's got good position. Turns, and he misses the shot. And fouled, though, as he grabs the rebound. Brown got deep penetration there. And, again, that shows you the difference of not having Miles Flemings in the game.
Yeah, 6'5", Kenyon Brown compared to Jackson McIntyre, 6'2". Having the position there, but I think the referees are saying that that's going to be a shooting foul, so it's going to be 2 free throws here for the Bombers.
Tie game with 3:22 to go. The second period went in about 45 seconds. The third period going in about 45 days. A lot of clock stoppage here, specifically because of the blood on the floor. Brown has that first one bounce all over the rim and fall through. Bombers by 1. Free throw 2 is up, and swish. So it's a 2-point game. McIntyre inbounds to Chappelle. Here comes the trap. They'll go back to McIntyre. He gets it across the half-court line. Quickly over to Robbie Driver. Long three, and he hit it. Oh, my goodness. Driver, what a night. And he gives the Red Hawks the lead. Denson wants that back. Jumps middle of the lane. Bounces it off, and Gunn with the rebound. Here comes Union. They've got numbers. Chappelle drives middle. Chappelle underneath. Good. 46-43.
Miles Flemings just got to the bench. New number 44, so he'll be coming in on this next check-in.
They just had to find one big enough down there for him.
It looks pretty tight on it.
Brown underneath, goes to Denson. Back out to McKenzie. McKenzie, he had a cutter and missed him. Back out front once again. Here comes Nash, left hand, and he knocks it in. Nice move by Nash. Got to have a little help here for McKenzie. Gets it. Now he's going to toss it back to Gunn, and here we go. McIntyre, pardon me, not McKenzie. And a foul way, way away from the basket by Midwest City. Namoli chuckling because Coach is just driven crazy by having Anthony Dixon foul somebody 44 feet from the basket.
Yeah, I think Gunn made the spin move and tripped up, but that's going to be a foul. Miles Flemings, new number 44, checks in, as well as number 0, Trey Smith. But most importantly, Flemings got a new jersey, one that isn't bloodstained.
Well, and you also, as you pointed out, might be a little more snug than he's used to.
Shows off the guns a little bit.
There you go. Driver drives again. He's trapped, though. He's going to need some help. Oh, and he throws it right to Midwest City. Stevens on the break. Gunn in the way, and Gunn bumps him and fouls him. That's not necessarily a terrible foul by Gunn because that was going to be a pretty easy layup, and Union with a 1-point lead wanted to protect it.
Now, referees call a blocking foul on Gunn there. He was trying to get back on defense, try to go for the block, but instigated a lot of contact there.
Stevens to the line. He has 4 tonight. Minute 56 to go, third period. First shot is good, and we're tied. But it seems like this entire game has been tied.
His third quarter has seemed for an eternity back and forth, but got to make sure since Flemons is back into play, got to start looking for him down low.
Second shot is true as well. That's 6 points now for Stevens, and the Bombers take a 1-point lead. Driver will bring the ball up. He and Gunn having a discussion. Chappelle still only with 1 point tonight, yet only a 1-point deficit for the Redhawks. Inside to Chappelle, inside to Dave. Miles turns, he's got it. Big play right there.
New number, same points, 10 points.
Flemons inside, showing that size, and Union back up by 1.
As the chance come from the high schoolers on the other end.
Here comes Nash. Goes back out to Denson. Denson guarded by Gunn. Denson middle. Back out to Dixon. Dixon trapped. Now quickly back around to Stevens, and there's a foul out front. You got to give Midwest City credit for this. Their ball movement is tremendous.
Yeah, they do a really, really good job. Once they penetrate, they're rotating the ball very, very well, which most of the time, every time they rotate, it's to an open man. As I believe Gunn is going to pick up his second foul, and Caleb Stevens goes to the line.
Where he just was. Now a timeout, official's timeout. And he goes to the scorer's table. Just checked on something. I'm not quite sure what. Looks like we'll just continue.
I believe he was looking for the fouls, and now that's fifth foul for Union. Wanted to confirm that they're shooting 2, but I think it was already a shooting foul regardless.
I think it was as well. That one goes in. We are once again tied. That's the 7th point of the night for Caleb Stevens. The last 3 coming at the free throw line. Takes aim again, and again, no trouble. And he gives the Bombers a 1-point lead. 1 minute to go in this third period, and we have a 1-point game. Midwest City up. Chappelle with the basketball. Gunn, who sits down very seldom, on the right side. Moves, got a little bit of room. Gunn lays it up and in.
Pure speed there from Gunn, well done.
He saw a little opening, and he made
Took
it a
it.
bigger opening, and Union up 1. Stevens almost lost it. Goes inside to Nash. Nash jumps in the air, gets it to Brown, but it bounces off his leg. Quickly out to Driver, and he is harassed. Looked like it was going to be stolen by Stevens, but he'll get the foul.
5th foul, 2 free throws here for Union. That shot, that opportunity when that ball is so far away from the net, can't cause a foul for that. It's going to go straight to the line for Driver. I know Coach Garcia is really going to enjoy that with the last 30 seconds.
Stevens with 4 fouls now. That's key for Midwest City. Driver's first shot is pure. 2-point lead now for Union, which honestly, 2 points of a lead feels like a lot, doesn't it?
Feels like so much. And as we mentioned, Caleb Stevens, who had 4 fouls, just checked out.
Driver misses the second, so it remains a 2-point lead with about 27 seconds to go. Here comes Denson, who has not, I don't think, a point in this quarter. Denson guarded by Chappelle, drives. And a foul outside. And I think they got Driver as he slapped at it. They did on the way in. And now you send the guy you don't want at the free throw line, Denson, up there.
2 free throws here. Driver with that foul.
Denson shoots over 50% from the field, let alone from the line. And those nets didn't even move on shot number 1. That's what you would call a natural shot, Nick.
Really good form. Really good athlete.
He doesn't touch a lot of iron, does he? 51 all. Trapped in the backcourt, but Driver's able to get the ball quickly. Got Gunn underneath. Gunn underneath, up and under. Missed the shot, but got fouled.
A little bit of contact underneath. I think he pushed him just enough to go underneath the basket, so that's why Gunn's shot wasn't so familiar for him. He was trying to go up and under, but Gunn now 2 shots with 7 seconds left. Don't want to turn off here on that second shot, because if he misses it, I know the Bombers will really want to push the pace.
Dixon with the foul, and Gunn, just as natural a free throw leader, steps up, or shooter, pardon me, steps up. Well, that one might have nicked a little bit of iron, but not much.
Just in case Jackson Boyd checks in for Tristan Driver for a defensive hold right here. And we also didn't want to have
a foul.
Driver with the foul.
Right.
Yep.
Gunn is turning and talking to officials, and I think once again, Flemings is going to have to leave the game for a moment. They're pointing at his chin as though there's a little bit of blood still on his chin. They'll give him an opportunity to clean him up quickly, and if it doesn't work quickly, they'll make him sit. Official looks and says, all right, he's good to go.
All that hoopla for that, but we got to stay safe here. I understand these referees.
Flemings and Jarvis Nash having a laugh as they come together. Second shot for Gunn. It's true, and the Red Hawks lead by 2. 7 seconds to go. As Nick said, got to stay alert. Denson has it stolen from behind. Tremendous steal from behind, and a little bit of a launch right at the block, and it did not go in. But a tremendous job of staying awake, grabbing that little steal by Jackson Boyd, and here going to the fourth quarter, 53-51. This has been a terrific basketball game.
Yeah, this definitely has been one of those games where it's back and forth, and it's not down and back going to be scoring points. It's just really good defensive holds that go back and forth. So for Coach Garcia in this final quarter, 53-51, it's our second game of the Union Jinx Invitational. This game is definitely going to be a confidence booster, because if we're able to hold on into this fourth quarter, 8 minutes left in this quarter, we want to make sure that we are finding those spaces. So I know Fleming's kind of half and half of that last quarter. I think that's where we're going to need to go. But with Gunn, Corbin Gunn, 19 points of the 53. He's been doing what he's always been doing. So I want to make sure that we are able to also highlight his ability as well.
Well, there is some foul trouble, too, for Midwest City. So you have to look around. For instance, right now, Jarvis Nash has 3. There are other guys with foul trouble. So if you're going to work the ball to Flemings, which I would do, then maybe get them in bigger foul trouble underneath and try to work your offense that way. Now, you don't want to take it out of Gunn's hands. He has 19, but you'd love to see the big man handle it a little bit.
Yeah, with most of the time, they're usually doubling him. And if they're doubling him, we need to make sure that the person that the man is doubling, we got to get that other guy moving. If we're able to get him moving, that means he's open and has an open opportunity. But yes, as we said, foul trouble for the Bombers. Number 2, Caleb Stevens with 4, and Stevens is still on the bench.
Inbound goes to McKenzie. We begin the fourth period here, 53-51 Union. McKenzie trying to make a move on Chappelle, can't do it. Out to Denson, and he just wants a shot. Guarded by Gunn. Goes off to Nash. Now back out front to Dixon. Dixon almost threw it away. Instead, it goes back to McKenzie. Step back, and he rimmed it out. Nice rebound there by Gunn. Boy, that ball wanted to go down and didn't. Gunn on the move. Drives inside, throws it up, almost hit that thing, and he's fouled going to the line. He will. What a shot, and a little bit of a prayer right there, Nick. I'm a little surprised.
He tried to put a little bit of spin to it, but when he was on the ground, he gave a little smile to the student section, let them know, did you see that?
Right. That's not what I wanted to do either. It's kind of what he looked like. It wasn't what I intended. They're not going to call it a shooting foul, though, so it'll be out of bounds, and Gunn will take it.
Interesting call. Not a shooting foul, but, again, early foul trouble for the Bombers.
Driver with the inbounds. Fleming's trying to work inside on Brown. Brown's going to front him a little. They've been able to go over that a couple of times tonight. Gunn now asks for the screen. Flemings comes out, rolls under. Ooh, he had him for a moment there.
Missed the roll opportunity.
Driver inside, turns, little turnaround, and that shot, oh, it's off the back of the rim. Denson comes up with it, and here he comes. Quick shot. Other side of the court. That three is no good by McKenzie, and a nice rebound by Flemons goes to Driver.
Now they kind of overloaded, the Bombers did, on that right side. 2-man on one. Had a nice look at that, but didn't fall.
Boy, you really wish Union had not missed the cutter a little earlier. Flemons has it inside on Brown. Forces it up, and he's got it to go down, but he walked. He traveled. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he had the right idea, Nick. He just shuffled a bit.
And it's tough sometimes with Flemons. He wants to make a good offensive move. That means he's going to have to dribble a little bit more. As a big guy, you typically have to do maybe 1 or 2 dribbles. You don't need to be doing too much with that, and that was one of those situations that led to a travel.
Just a little too far outside when he picked up the basketball. Stevens has it out front. 2-point game. Union up, 6:20 to go in this game. Nash goes inside. That ball is no good, but there's a foul called. Brown got it down inside. The foul call is going to be on Flemons.
It was an extremely late call there.
It
It seemed like Flemons was straight up. He instigated the contact. The shot went up, and then when the shot didn't go falling, that's when they called the foul.
But that's so common. You see that all the time. If it goes, it's fine. If it doesn't go, we're going to send him to the line.
It's tough, but Brown able to make the first one there. When we're talking about foul trouble, that was only, I believe that was Flemons' second. Yes, it is, in fact, Miles Flemons' second foul, so nothing that we need to worry about. The only one we have to really highlight is Driver with 3.
Brown's a heck of a free throw shooter for a big guy. Knocks in 2 more, and we're tied up.
Need some help here to break this press.
Driver quickly back to Chappelle, and he'll break the press without much trouble usually.
I think they're letting Chappelle take it. Not usually the guard play that he usually gets.
Back to Gunn. Gunn goes to Flemons. He's way out front. He'll go to Smith. Now back to Gunn. Looked like he was going to take that left side and does, but he gets cut off. And knocked down. Oh, boy. Nash just stepped right over and just kind of pushed him and then kind of dropped his arms like, why did I do that?
Yeah, with Nash, that's a really clumsy foul, number 4 there. I believe that's going to be a substitution for the Bombers. Number 1, Ryan Holloway checks in for Jarvis Nash.
And how about right here? Get the ball down to Flemons and get that 4th foul on. Ooh, and that is Brown. I think that's going to be Brown for reaching over, and that's about what I was going to say.
Predicted it to a T, got it down low. Going to be number 4 for Brown. Who's going to step up for the Bombers there to play against Fleming? So far, Coach Noel leaving him in the game.
That's the thing. What's he going to do? Does he leave him out there? You got 5:54 to go. That's a lot of time. Go right back to Flemons.
That's what I would do.
Gunn goes inside. Flemons. Oh, and he's fouled as he goes after it.
McKenzie.
Yep, McKenzie reached in and slapped. And, really, for McKenzie, if you know he's headed toward Brown, maybe you get the foul ahead of time.
Within 2 minutes of this quarter, that's 4 fouls. So that's going to be a possible 2 free throws for the next time. We're looking to go again to attack the fouler.
Flemons turns. Oh, he walked. Boy, when the whistle blew, you weren't sure.
Held your breath because there was 2 players there with 4 fouls around him. But I would go right back to the well that next possession.
Absolutely. What an entertaining game.
Don't let Flemons get so far out to where he has to dribble. Just let him do his thing with a couple basketball moves.
5.5 to go in the game. 53-53. What an entertaining basketball game. It'll be the last game here at the UMAC in this Jinx Union tournament. Tomorrow will be all over at Jinx. Outside 3 is off and no good. Tipped up by Chappelle, and he's able to grab it. McKenzie just off. Gunn quickly down court. Gunn driving middle. Gunn lays it in. And Brown right there had no help. He couldn't help. He knew he was going to get that foul, and he backed away. Union by 2.
It's going to be something sitting in the back of their minds for the rest of these 5 minutes. So well done from Union to cause these fouls so early.
Denson to Holloway. They want Denson to shoot it, but he hasn't much. They'll go down inside instead to McKenzie. Now back out. 3-pointer off the rim. Good rebound by Driver. It's tipped, first of all, by Gunn. Driver with Denson on him will bring the ball up. 4:45 to go. Driver passes off to Gunn.
Brown with 4 fouls. See what they do with Flemons down low.
Flemons right now is back at the free throw line, looking like he wants to screen.
It's a little confusion on all sides.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to wait a little bit. Gunn almost had the breakaway, didn't. Driver has a 3-point shot, and it just sticks between the backboard and the rim.
It's going to be a jump ball there. Yep. Fit perfectly there, but since it's a jump ball, shout out to Justin Chappelle to get that ball out. But it's going to be a possession arrow to the Red Hawks that does play as a jump ball when that ball gets stuck.
Remember, that's a half a possession right now. Of course, we have 4.5 to go almost, so likely there'll be more than that, but that could play big. Fleming's way away from the basket, has the basketball.
I would attack this right now. Brown has 4 fouls.
Fleming's driving inside, goes inside, not fouled there by Brown, puts up a kind of an awkward shot, and it's off. Here comes Midwest City. Quick shot over to the right side. Dixon from 3, can't hit it. Rebound Chappelle, and there's a foul underneath.
Foul on McKenzie. Kind of gave a hip check to Driver down low.
It's a hip check, or if it's hockey, it's just a check, because that was a pretty good body blow he gave him right there.
Now that's going to be a foul, causing the 5th foul. So we're on the complete side of the court. Now we get to go take some free throws. And now I think right now a good learning moment from Fleming's on the sideline with assistant coach Derek Lewis, letting him know those post-play moves that you're doing down low, he cannot foul you. Take your time, as Driver is able to make that first one.
So that is, as Nick said, now shooting fouls the rest of the way for Union. But the Redhawks only with 1 foul in this period. 4:05 to go. Redhawks up 3, 56-53. And if Driver hits this one, a 4-point lead would seem like a lot.
Now with how this game's going, it's always been tied or 1 or 2 points. So with 4 points, that feels like a major gap for us. Unable
Did
to
not hit
convert
that
it.
second shot, so it'll remain a 3-point game with 4 minutes to go in this game. Down court is Stevens. Oh, pardon me, that is Denson. Denson with Chappelle on him. Pulls up from 3, can't get it in. Good rebound by Miles Flemings. Quickly up court. Now back to Gunn. Gunn's going to slow it down. Fleming's way away to give him a screen. Gunn's got a little opening, puts it up left-handed, and it's good.
Timeout here for the Bombers. Well done from Gunn. Goes up on the left-hand side, but with the right hand. Well done from Gunn.
And he saw that little tiny sliver, and he exploded into it, and that's what you want. Gunn now with 23 tonight, 16 tonight for Tristan Driver, and 22 tonight for Flemings. 49 of the 58 from those 3.
It's really, really impressive. But I think it's a really good strategy to highlight right now. With this foul trouble, I feel like it's kind of in the back of the mind of the Bombers. They know that they can't foul down low with Flemings because Kenyon Brown is on his 4th foul. And I think Coach Lewis was really letting Flemings know, hey, we can play as slow as possible on that down low block, because if Brown fouls out, I don't see someone new popping up for that.
Well, Dixon's the next tallest guy at 6'3", and he's got some ups, there's no question about it, but he's got a couple of fouls himself, so it has to be more than back of mind. It's got to be front of mind. But, at this point with 3:34 to go and down 5, you can't worry about it. You just got to go play.
And I think right now the only thing we can really focus on is that if we just play our game, we can hold on to this game. I think the Bombers are going to have to play a little bit of anxious, feel a little bit of stress of that time. So if we're able to stay composed, that's where we're going to be able to finish out this game.
Stevens will take it out of bounds for Midwest City with 3:34 to go in the game. Bombers up by 5. Denson will have Gunn on him. Gets a screen, switched off to Driver. Back over to Stevens. Now to Nash. Nash drives, left hand, and he puts it up and in. Good play by Nash. Give him credit. That was a tough shot. And it's a 3-point lead with Gunn coming down court.
Seemed a little too easy there, but really well done from Nash.
Gunn trying to invite the foul, can't get it. Asking for a little help out top, gets it from Driver. Now Gunn will drive, and he's going to go back to the ball. Underneath, he goes up and under. Oh, that thing almost went in. What a spectacular almost shot. Brown with the rebound. Here comes Midwest City. Nash drives. Dishes. McKenzie out front. Stevens once again to the court. He's got the left-hander up and in, but they're going to call a foul ahead of that, right? It's an offensive foul.
McKenzie's 4th. Interesting call. Referee on the far side makes the call. Coach Noel on the near side talking with the referee. You were the closest one to the action.
Right,
how did you not call it?
Right, he's yelling, and he's yelling at the guy across the court. How do you make that call? And he did shuffle over in front, so I think that's probably a good call. Of course, it's backcourt, so this will not be a shooting foul for Union. Driver, look at the inbound. from Chappelle, and here we go. 2:40 to go. Defense is one thing, but you're going to have to score again. Driver back to Flemings. Flemings has Brown on him, cuts inside. Gunn moves to the middle, tosses it up, and he's fouled on the way. You know, Gunn, that's a brilliant job by Gunn because he knew right there he's going to get the foul. He just threw the ball up any way he could, hoping to get it in there, but he'll go to the line.
Caleb Stevens, the junior, is going to foul out on his 5th one right there from Gunn. Gunn with a really good gather step to jump back into the lane because he was really close on that sideline, was able to get back into the middle of it. But that's going to be number 3 for Jarvis Nash, pardon me.
I'll just tell you this. If I had tried to make the move he just made, it'd take 3 firemen to pick me up off the ground because that was pretty doggone
and
athletic.
2 ACLs later for
Absolutely.
Sure.
2:27 to go. Union up by 3. Exciting enough game that Nick and I are both standing and jumping around up here. To the line is Gunn. Shot number 1. Oh, rims out. Gunn looks at the scoreboard. Ready for shot 2.
Coach Garcia looking on, making sure team knows what they need to do on this defensive possession.
This shot goes in with no trouble. 4-point lead for the Redhawks. Holloway out front. Harassed there. Inside drive, and there's a shoulder inside on Nash as he goes up, and he's fouled.
Trey Smith on the foul.
That's only the 2nd foul on Union, but will they call this a shooting foul? They will.
Which Trey Smith, coming off the bench, I feel like he's been getting some really good minutes, playing some really good defense on some of these guards, being able to keep it clean. As we said, it's only their 2nd foul of this quarter. Midwest City already on their 5th.
Nash, no trouble with that first one, and they have been very good at the line tonight.
I believe that's one of the main reasons why they're keeping it this close so far.
3-point game with another free throw coming. This last 2 minutes is either going to seem like 2 hours or 2 seconds. Can't quite decide.
Now with the bonus already in effect, it's going to be important that they can't foul too fast.
Nash knocks down the second, 2-point game. Extended pressure now for the Bombers. Driver gets it across to Chappelle. Now Chappelle is trapped. And there is a timeout by Coach Garcia. Gunn actually was over and had the pass from Chappelle, but that's not a bad call by Coach Garcia.
Yeah, Chappelle had that pass from jumping up and throwing it. That's not one of the passes that we typically want to see from the cross court, even though it made it to the destination that we wanted. Coach Garcia called the timeout before he threw that pass, but when we're breaking that press, we can't get across the midcourt and then just stop in that corner. We need to have someone standing right there at the middle of the Union U so that they can be able to have different opportunities on both sides, because Bombers have been doing a really good job of at least trapping them in those corners.
2:09 to play here in this game. Tremendous game, 59-57 Union. The Union girls lost a little earlier tonight to a very, very good Edmond North team. But they had a nice win last night against Broken Arrow. The Union boys losing last night against Crossings Christian, he tried to say. And tonight playing an even tougher, possibly, Midwest City team right off their feet.
Coach Garcia looking on. Going to have a set play here after the timeout. I believe Chappelle is going to be the one taking it in. Gunn's going to pass it in here. So one of that situations that got to make sure we're always moving here.
Chappelle will go backcourt to grab it. He's taken by Denson quickly into the forecourt. No trouble. 2:02 to go. Back to Gunn. Flemings out for the screen. Gunn drives left hand to Driver, who almost went the wrong way, but he collects it.
Got to look for Flemings here. Has a guy who's guarding him with
That
4
is Chappelle.
fouls.
Back to Gunn, but the ball is extended. Gunn's doubled. Driver has it again. They're looking to make Midwest City foul them or just hold the basketball. Minute 37 to go. And there is the foul. Denson thought he had the steal, but instead he fouled Tristan Driver. Only the second foul, right, against Denson, who, by the way, averages 24.5. Tonight he has 11.
So really good job here from Union on the defensive side. Fouls Driver, one of our top free throw percentage shooters.
And proves it right there. Makes it a 3-point game.
I was worried I was going to say that.
Right.
And as the
Never say that,
commentator
right? Never.
You see that in the NBA. They say Steph Curry with the 85% free throw, and then he bricks it.
Yep. Driver was shot 2, and it's just as good. So now a 4-point lead for the Red Hawks. Quick inbounds, and here comes Denson with gun on him. Denson, Flemings with the block, goes out to the 3-point line. Flemings now with the grab, but I believe we're going to have a jump ball. Nope.
In favor of the Bombers.
Yes, we did. All right, he never called the jump ball. He just waved his hand and then pointed that direction.
Jump ball for possession error favoring the Bombers. Well done by Flemings to get a hand on it.
Tremendous block. Coming inside, and a foul called. Oh, Jarvis Nash able to lay that up and in, and the foul, so he'll get the bucket, and he'll get the free throw.
It's going to be Flemings' third. Seemed like he was pretty vertical there, but again, we do not want to be fouling in this situation. If they're going to be able to make an easy bucket there, let it. We don't want to cause a and one situation with only a minute 23 left.
Nash steps to the line with an opportunity to make this a 1-point game. Minute 23 to go. Shot up and good. So indeed, 61-60 Union leads.
Gonna have to break this press, and then that's when the Bombers are probably gonna need a foul.
Gunn, Chappelle, driver, Chappelle. Got to get it across court. They do. Gunn is trapped though. He can dribble. He does. Dribbles out of it behind the back, and he's tripped.
Tripped him up there from Stevens there.
Stevens knocked him down, yep.
Stevens fifth. Stevens fouls out. They had the trap there, had everything extremely well done, but Gunn able to slip out of it. He was so slippery to get through there, and he was able to at least get a foul. Now he's going to the line. And as we said, Caleb Stevens, his fifth. He takes a seat on the bench, and his night is over.
That is 2 foul outs so far tonight for Midwest City, and Anthony Dixon will check in, and he's played some good minutes as well. Big free throws for Gunn here with a minute 8 to go. Arena's quiet. Free throw 1, nothing but twine. 2-point game.
Looks like Union's going to set up this full court press to at least cause the Bombers to have a little bit of at least some opposition here. Gunn for his second.
Shot 2, rims out, so it's still a 2-point game. Nash quickly down court. Nash gets it to Holloway. Out front to Brown. Back over to Holloway. Now to Denson, and that's who they want to have it. Denson drives, little Euro step, but they're going to call a travel on him. Big call right there. Denson had Gunn on him trying to draw the contact. The little step, he shuffled, and it'll be Union basketball.
In the clutch moments, Deshaun Denson the second usually loves this type of moment. Travel situation, 45 seconds.
Once again, got to break that press. Driver up court without much trouble. Then he's bumped at the end, and there's no call. Driver back to Gunn. Gunn will hold it. Now he picks up his dribble, and that goes way over his head. Bad pass that goes to Trey Smith, but way over his head. And again, it's the pick up your dribble or get anywhere near stopping in that corner that's so difficult. So it remains a 2-point game, and Union turns it over with 31.5 seconds to go.
In that situation, 2 timeouts for Union. In that situation, Coach Garcia had the opportunity to call a timeout in that pressed moment. Gunn throws it out of the way. A senior captain, very unlike him.
That's the thing. You trust him. You trust him, and, in that case, he thought he saw, and he really had Trey Smith, just a little too much pepper on it.
62-60. Now the Bombers have an opportunity to have a three-pointer that can go take them to the lead. So got to play defense strong here.
And a foul to give for Union.
And a foul to give.
You can, obviously not on a shooting foul, but you have a foul to give with 3. So you do have to keep in mind as well, if there's a breakaway, it's all right to slap at the ball and just hope for the best. What a basketball game this has been, and if you didn't make it out or didn't join us on the stream, I feel a little bad for you, because as a basketball fan, this has been terrific.
Back-to-back games. First game was an overtime for the girls that they fell up short. Boys now have a 2-point lead. Now with 30 seconds left, going to have to play some good defense here. Looks like Trey Smith is going to be coming back into the game. Driver, Gunn, Chappelle, and Flemings.
Trey Smith, the 6-foot junior, has had a couple of good minutes tonight, as we said, as well. Fleming's asking Coach Garcia where he wants him to be.
That's something I want to also highlight. Kenyon Brown, the defender who usually has been on Flemings all night, he's had 4 fouls for this entire quarter, and we haven't even passed it down to Flemings. Got to attack that.
Holloway will inbound the ball. Wants to go to Denson, but Gunn just won't let him get open. They'll go the other direction. Nash has it. Here goes Nash driving inside.
I believe it's timeout, for the Bombers.
Boy, that was almost a turnover. You had Chappelle slapping at the ball and Driver from behind. Instead, Coach Noel recognizes that and calls the timeout quickly.
I think they were trying to get into Denson the entire time. Gunn, who was protecting and guarding Denson, wasn't able to at least get it into him, so they looked up, found someone else, had a trap possibility. He was running it down the line. Chappelle had lost position, but Coach Noel already wanted to call a timeout. So I think right now we might be able to have a play here for Coach Noel. 27 seconds can play for the foul for Union, as that's something that they could possibly think about if you get beat. Got to play some clean defense.
Jarvis Nash tonight has 14. He averages 7-8, so he's almost double his average. And if they're looking to get the ball to Denson and there needs to be an option, Nash might be their guy.
So they call a timeout at the top of the key. Now they get it underneath. Interesting situation here on this timeout. They get the ball underneath when the timeout was towards the top of the key.
Holloway inside, got the ball inside, fight for the basketball, and there's a jump ball.
In favor of the Redhawks. Jump ball, Driver.
That ball came in low to Nash, and now the officials are having a conversation, which is never good for anybody.
I believe. So Driver's hand was out of bounds on that jump ball. Because it was out of bounds, instead of calling it a jump ball, they're going to call it out of bounds for the Bombers.
So Holloway once again will inbound the basketball, this time hopefully not easily. He goes out front, taken there by Nash to Denson. That's who they want to have it. 2-point game, 20 seconds to go. Gunn on Denson. This is going to be a heck of a matchup. Denson waiting.
High screen, got
going
the switch.
Left. Flemings, nice trap. Knocked out of bounds by Gunn. 7.27 seconds to go, and Union playing terrific defense.
Active hands by Gunn there. He was able to read the eyes of the offensive player. Way to knock it out of play. 7 seconds here. Are they going to play for the win?
Could we have a second overtime tonight? As a timeout's called by Coach Garcia, Nash was set to take that thing out of bounds, and you kind of feel like you've just been dodging bullets for this last minute and a half, Nick.
With that last possession, to reiterate, Driver, who had his hands on the ball, caused a jump ball, but the other referee saw that one of Driver's hands was out of bounds. Because it was out of bounds, that's going to be an out-of-bounds ball. Bombers were able to take it up. But yes, they had a really good opportunity, bounced it low, kind of bobbled around. They could have had an easy layup right there with 10 seconds left, but I know Coach Garcia right now making sure we understand the game plan to make sure we're not going to be causing a foul on those three-point shots.
Well, once again, though, you do have a foul to give. Now, you don't want on the three, I get that, but you do have a foul to give. So if there happens to be another inside play like that, slap at the ball, get the foul, and make them take it out of bounds again. 7.27 seconds to go and a 2-point Union lead. Midwest City will take it out of bounds. Dixon on the far side, near midcourt.
Got to go fast here. 7 seconds.
Gets it to Nash, but he's a long way from the basket. Driver on him. Floats it up in the air. It is no good, but there is a foul. And that will likely be a shooting foul.
A lot of contact, and it was a late call. Coach Garcia not happy with that one.
That's against Flemings. And to the line will go Nash to shoot 2.
Now Flemings now with 4 fouls.
3.3 seconds to go, and Nash shooting 2. And so far tonight, he's been pretty solid.
If they miss the second one, definitely want to make sure we're boxing out.
Shot number 1. No trouble. And if shot number 2 is as good, then we are pretty close to overtime. shy of a steal or a quick bucket by Union.
Robbie Manning did check in for Trey Smith, more of an offensive player, and we're going to have another timeout for the Redhawks. Maybe an icing of the second free throw.
Boy, what a game we've had here tonight.
Tough foul on that last one. It was a little bit later, and that's what Coach Garcia, Coach Gary were letting the referee know, hey, that seemed a little bit late, but we have to move on. Play still goes on. And I think the student section is going to be moving from the left side of your screen. Now they're going to be moving to the right side of your screen to try to get in the attention of the shooter. So
running the girls team down there, right? The girls team's over there
girl
as
team
well.
down there. Now we have the high school student section as they're making the rotation, trying to get some attention onto them. Get this shot down. Looks like
that student section is going to let him have it down there. Now, so far tonight, Nash has seemed pretty unflappable.
And again, the girls basketball team who just came off their loss earlier, a part of that group as well.
Matter of fact, Bella McSwain just shoved her way into the front of the rail so she could scream down there.
McSwain, Coleman, everybody.
Here we go. 1 point game, 3.1 seconds to go.
Have
Nash
to
can
box
tie it.
out. Have to box out here.
Shot up, and it's good. We are tied.
Got to go fast. 3 seconds here. Gunn.
Here comes Gunn. Launches, and it's not going to go in. We have extra basketball for the second time tonight. 62-62, and they'll put 4 minutes up, and we'll play on. Why not, Nick?
Why not? One of those situations where free throws is what causes the tie ball game. Usually you want the opponent to prove it with their shots. You get fouled on the drive. Denson, ice in his veins, able to make this game go into overtime. 2 Union basketball games that are back-to-back in overtime.
So if you came tonight, you got 8 extra minutes of basketball, an entire quarter extra for your ticket. You should feel very good about that.
Obviously, it's a Friday night, so I'm very thankful that we're able to have that on a Friday.
So you don't have to go teach tomorrow, right?
No teaching tomorrow, able to at least sleep in, but it's a good night. Been hyping up these basketball games all week, and we can catch them live here on the Union Sports Network. Great section. Great student section tonight. It seemed like they were still energetic. Coach Garcia is still proving his case to the referee.
He thought that foul was a little bit earlier and should have been a non-shooting foul. You make that argument now. See if you can make any headway.
That would only been our fourth, so that was going to be an interesting situation if it was too early. But things to note now. Flemons, 4 fouls. Playing against Kenyon Brown, who's gone an entire quarter without causing that 5th foul. And then also Jarvis Nash, number 3 for the Bombers, on his 4th foul.
So is Manning, by the way.
Yeah, Manning as well. So it's important to know that these players have some bonus action.
Tip to the Redhawks. Gunn has it. Underway in our overtime here, 62 all. Union in Midwest City. Driver out front. Drives inside. Driver. Nice little right hand. Got the bucket and the foul.
Driver able to take the pace that he has, the speed, beat his man down to the low block. Knew he was going up early. Beat his player to the block. And there's going to be a basket, good, and the foul. And also, number 0, Trey Smith is checking in for number 14, Robbie Manning. You always see it in high school basketball in overtime. Do a lot more subs. So Trey Smith is definitely going to be on the defensive side.
Hits the free throw. That's 21 now for Robbie Manning. 25 for Gunn. 10 tonight for Flemons. Midwest City now trails by 3. Holloway tosses it to Nash. Denson tries to break. Can't. Gunn's got him. And boy, Gunn is sticking with him like flypaper. Now they've cleared out the right side for Denson. He chooses not to take it. Back to Denson.
A little isolation here with Gunn.
Back over to Nash.
Backdoor
now inside
cut.
to Denson. Goes underneath the basket. Forced to by Miles. And he misses. Down court. Here goes. Lay in. That's a tremendous play by Smith. 5-point lead, Union.
Trey Smith, huge off the bench. 4 points, but has been playing amazing defense.
Nash passes out to Holloway. Now way out front to Brown. Back to Denson, but he's way on the wing. Switch off underneath for a moment there, but back. Nash goes back to Denson from 3. Got it. That's a tremendous play by Nash and Denson to make it a 2-point game. Driver going to have to hurry to not get trapped, and he does. Bounced it off his knee, though. Here comes Denson, 2-on-1. Gunn. Nice defensive play. Gunn was able to make that turn the other direction.
2-on-1.
And here comes
Well
Gunn.
done, Gunn.
Inside. Flemings. Up, and
Gotta
he's
be
fouled.
a foul.
And if that's Brown, he's done. And that is Brown, and he will sit.
His 5th. Seemed like that was there all night, and that was the first opportunity that we used to go to Flemings. But yes, Kenyon Brown, number 32, the sophomore, is going to take a seat. That's his 5th of the night.
Boy, you cannot say how big Gunn's defensive play. He's back there by himself on a 2-on-1, adjusts the shot, makes the rebound, and gets it out.
I think he knew that Denson, who was wanting to take these shots for most of the night, he was going to take it there.
Flemings bounces, and bounces out. 2-point lead for the Redhawks. Need this one to make it a 3. Flemings steps back, 2:16 to play here in this overtime period.
Be ready for this rebound.
Let's hope there's not one. Bounces around, and there is a rebound. He missed them both, and here comes Midwest City. Quickly out of there is Nash. Down court to Holloway. Back to Nash. He goes down inside. Turnaround is no good. Rebound to Flemings. Nice job.
Big board from Flemings. He was coming in from the top of the key. He's able to crash out that board. Well done.
That quick turnaround was probably not exactly what Midwest City wanted. Gunn about to get himself trapped. Now he goes behind the back. Flips it over. Chappelle almost lost it. Looked like a member of the Globetrotters for a moment. Now he does. Denson wide open down court. And he missed it. But they're going to call goaltending against Gunn. And quite honestly, that's probably a good call.
Yeah, Gunn tried to get up there a little bit earlier. It's going to be a goaltending here.
And it's back to a tied game. Minute 35 to go, 67 all.
Got to play a little bit cleaner offense. We have the positioning.
Got Flemings down low. Get it to him. Gunn going to take it out front. Now he's going to have to move. Here he comes. Gunn got a little opening in the middle, and he's fouled going up. That is a big, big moment there. Gunn just saw an opening, took off, and Midwest City for a moment kind of stood. Then they all collapsed, and the foul is called, and Gunn will step to the line with a tie game and a minute 17 to go.
Now the person taking Kenyon Brown's spot, number 30, we actually don't have him on the lineup.
Which is not that unusual.
Not that unusual here in high school basketball, but if he's going to step up here, it's going to be now 2 shots for Gunn.
Well, he's not on their scoreboard either right now. Gunn misses the first. As hard as he's worked, I wonder if there's a little fatigue in there.
I know with 25 points, that kind of overshadows his free throw ability here in the last couple minutes, but especially in that fourth quarter, that late turnover that led to the Bombers' game-tying bucket.
One more for Gunn. And that one goes in, gives Union a 1-point lead. Minute 17 to go. Redhawks by 1. Holloway brings it up. Smith on him. Off to McKenzie. Now,
isolation.
Who else? Denson. Denson drives middle. Back out to Holloway. I'll say this for Denson. He doesn't take bad shots. He does from there. 3-pointer from way outside. It's no good. And they're going to call a foul over the back on Midwest City.
I believe it was going to be on number 1, Ryan Holiday. Offensive foul. And because of that, that's going to be 2 shots on the other end.
Holloway shoved. I think it was Trey Smith.
He seemed like he had positioning, but I think the foul led to him having that positioning.
I'll say this for both these teams. Neither is panicked. This game has given you lots of opportunity to panic, and neither one has.
Both sides, absolutely.
Trey Smith, some big free throws here. Knocks down that first one.
Able to knock down the first one. I know we've been able to knock down the second one majority of the time, but again, Trey Smith, who typically comes in off the bench, his defensive prowess, and especially the intensity that he's had on offense. With these 2 free throws, big rebound.
Chappelle takes that rebound off the miss, and it'll go back out front to Gunn, and with 50 seconds to go, the Redhawks will take their time. Chappelle with the basketball and a 2-point lead. And he's fouled again
Number
by
30.
Unnamed player. I think he just said Sutton, so we'll go with Sutton. How's that?
Let's rock with Sutton.
Chappelle will go to the line. Tonight, only 3 points, but he has played very important defensive minutes.
With all those players that fouled out earlier for Midwest City.
Chappelle steps up and tosses it up, and it rounds out. Checking in is Brandon Dixon.
Student section looks on, bringing a lot of intensity for our boys tonight and
Chappelle
girls.
knocks that one down, so we're a 3-point game with 43 seconds to go. Inbound to Nash. Union just wants to make them take their time. Nash looks inside, goes left hand, then right hand, and it's off the glass, and it's taken by Flemons, and Gunn's going to take his time. Across midcourt, goes inside to Flemons. Flemons puts it up and in. Nice job by Miles Flemons. 5-point lead.
Chappelle.
Stolen by Chappelle, but he tosses it back inbounds. And here comes Denson. Tosses, stolen by Gunn. Gunn coming down court. Lays it in. 7-point lead for the Redhawks. 7 seconds to go. Back to Nash, and it won't matter. Union will just let him shoot. Off the backboard, and that's the ball game. Holy cow, what a finish.
That happened so fast. Fleming's able to get a nice clutch bucket in the end. Gunn as well. Seemed like the defensive intensity really hung in there for that last possession. Well done from Union, able to walk out with the dub 74-67.
28 points tonight for Corbin Gunn. 21 points for Tristan Driver. 12 points tonight for Flemons. And everybody put their work in tonight in one way or another. And after a disappointing loss last night, a spectacular comeback tonight for the Union boys.
Really a confidence booster into tomorrow as they're going to travel to Jinx. They're going to be able to take on Jinx. I think this win is definitely going to build that confidence throughout the weekend as well.
So remember, those games tomorrow at Jinx will be Jinx Union girls at 6 o'clock, Jinx Union boys at 7:30. There'll be other games there as well, but those are the ones you'll care about here. Thanks for joining us on the stream. For Andy Irwin and the UVU crew, and for my broadcast partner, Nick Irwin, I'm Rick Corey. 74-67. Union wins tonight over Midwest City. Good night from the UMAC.